What's up, everyone? I am here, joined for the first time ever by Chris, the project lead for Rune II, here to show me none other than Rune II. Chris, how's it going?
Going well. Super glad to be here. Really excited to show you Rune II today.
Yeah, we were chatting very briefly out here. I'm a bit of a Rune expert, but I'm sure there's going to be plenty of people out there who don't have the breadth of knowledge that I do. And so why don't we just get into it here, and you can kind of tell me a little bit about Rune and what's new with Rune II.
Sure. So Rune was a game that my company, Human Studios, put out in 2000. So it was our very first game that we put out. Rune II is the sequel to that. Big surprise.
Yeah.
The original Rune had a particular story to it. You played a certain character named Ragnar, and you'd play through the game as a very linear story-based game. Ragnar had his story. It ends. I won't spoil it for anyone who's listening or anything. So Rune II takes place decades after Rune I. Now the premise behind Rune I was you played this warrior named Ragnar who's trying to avenge his father's death. In the meantime, you discover that Loki's trying to start Ragnarok and end the world.
Okay.
As he does.
Unfortunate.
And you end up stopping him. Oh shit! Spoiler. You end up stopping him, and.
If you're good enough at the game.
Exactly, yeah, exactly. So, and then in Rune II takes place decades later when Loki found a way to escape, started Ragnarok, and now this is mid-Ragnarok.
Okay.
And so when you create a character, you are not, I'll create a new one, I will call him Sven. So when you create this new character, you're not just one particular character. You can be male, you can be female. There's a number of different skin tones, different hairstyles. I'm especially fond of mustaches in our game.
Oh, that's good.
Or if you want to randomize your character, you can do that too.
Oh, you got a good Ganondorf look there on the first try.
Oh, I should go back.
This is nice. Oh,
that was not bad.
I have to say, as somebody who spends a lot of time in character creators, there's not a lot of really good tattoos out there, and I'm impressed by what I see. Sometimes they just look like little temporary stick-on tattoos, but this is some nice stuff here.
Zoom back out so you can see, because some of them aren't always just on the shoulders.
Oh, yeah.
Some face tattoos. Why don't we go with this guy? So Rune II takes place decades after the original. Loki has freed himself. He started Ragnarok. You actually start as a character who died at the beginning of Ragnarok.
Okay.
And you died, and you were in the underworld, and then Heimdall, one of the gods, resurrects you, pulls you back onto Midgard, and tells you, we need to go kill Loki. So Loki has sealed himself into this other world called the Vigrid Plane, which is in the mythology, that's the place where the final battle will take place.
Oh, sure. Okay.
So he's sealed there. The other gods can't reach him. Actually, he screws over the other gods and poisons Thor early. Frees Fenrir the wolf to go after Odin. Stuff like that. So the other gods...
They got their hands full.
They got their hands full, exactly. And so Ragnarok will end when a number of things happen, including Loki dying. And Loki obviously doesn't want to die, so what he has done is he also found a way to rewind time. So he's sealed away in this other world. Anytime you try to confront him, and you will confront him many times in Rune II, anytime you try to confront him, he will rewind time, send you back. Now, it's not a roguelike, meaning you don't lose your gear, you don't lose your progression.
Okay.
But the world does change. There's the location of enemies, the types of enemies that you encounter, a lot of attributes of the world. We call them different ages. So there's the Age of Chaos, where there's a lot of battles going on between enemies, or the Age of Fire, where you can imagine kind of what that is. Age of Frost, there's a lot more frost giants. Age of Poison, that kind of thing.
That sounds awful.
So it's interesting in that the different ages are linked to each other, so items and gear you might find in one age will help you in other ages.
Oh, okay.
So we want people to be like, oh crap, the Age of Poison, I know there's going to be some challenges here, but I'm going to get some stuff that's going to help me in the Age of Chaos.
Right. Are these ages on kind of a set cycle, or is it more of a just you are surprised by where you end up?
There's an initial flow to them, and then they're randomized after that.
And I've resurrected you in a world shattered by Ragnarok.
Get a weapon here. So I don't have a ton of weapons to start out. Now it is an action adventure game with some RPG elements. There are some survival elements to it, so I could go run around, and if I want to chop down some trees, I can take down some trees. It's not meant to be survival-esque, where I'm going to take 20 years to try to chop down one tree. And in fact, if I want to just punch the trees, I can pretty easily take them down as well.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm a Viking resurrected by a god, so it should be pretty powerful.
You
right?
can take on a tree. If you're going to take on Loki, you should be able to take on a tree.
Exactly, yeah. So the world has been flooded, and so I'll bring up the map screen. So there's some parts that I've already explored, but so there's a ton of islands throughout the game. There's like 40 plus islands throughout the world that you'll explore. Some small, some larger, as you're wandering around and killing people and taking their stuff. There's some lizards. So the original Rune had, I'll grab a lizard, but the original Rune had lizards as health.
Okay.
And so there's food in here. There's animals you can kill and take their meat.
And it's giving you health.
That'll give you health, yeah.
It's not like a hunger meter.
No, I can eat a lizard. It'll give me a little bit of health. There's no hunger meter in the game.
Great.
So you want to go and find all those lizards and consume them. There's a little guy.
I like the idea of a tooltip telling you what human blood is useful for.
Necessary respite.
Some sacrifices and crafting certain items.
Stone from the rocks. You may build a longhouse upon old Wotan Celt's foundations.
So I'll take down this. So I can go and at various places throughout the game, there's a destroyed longhouse. I can go in and just start adding wood to it and reconstruct it. So you want to reconstruct that. Chop down some ore as well. You want to reconstruct these because when you're inside, you're safe from enemies. Your health will slowly replenish. You can also build other items like anvils to put in there or a whetstone in order to repair your weapons.
Okay.
So your weapons they do decay. There is a durability system. They don't break when the durability gets to 0, but just the effectiveness of the weapon goes down.
And are these buildings something that stay between eras?
They do. They are persistent, yeah.
Okay.
I'm getting pretty close. Just need a little bit more. Yeah, so we're starting from the beginning, so there's some tutorial aspects here of like, build this thing and
hit this rock.
Chop some rocks. Get some ore.
So obviously you had a long time between these two games. Coming into Rune II, kind of what did you know you wanted to like really either change or iterate upon from the first game into this second one?
So we knew we wanted to try to modernize more of the gameplay. You know, that's why we took it to be more open world. You can explore around, go wherever you want. I could cook some food on that. I think lightning struck here. I'll get by that stuff. Any fire in the world you can cook on. So we wanted to modernize more of the game, you know, go more open world that you can explore, but we wanted to keep a number of elements from the original. One of the key ones is the combat system. So combat is dictated, I've got a nice open area here I can show you. Combat is dictated based upon your movement. So if I stand, I'll do certain attacks and certain combos. If I'm moving forward, I'll do a slightly different one. If I'm strafing, I'll do a different one. If I back up. So you want to be moving all the time.
I like that.
We added a heavy attack, which is typically a thrust attack, and that will also typically knock enemies down. The original Rune had jump spin attacks, which we've kept.
Nice.
That's a fan favorite. We did a deathmatch test a year ago, and a lot of people were asking for the jump spin attacks to come back, so they're back.
Nice.
I can come inside and wants me to cook a couple of lizards. So I can, at a campfire, I can cook, I need one more lizard. I need to cook 2. Here, lizard. There are lore stones throughout the world, like this, where when I use a lore stone, I will get a little bit of information about what happened during Ragnarok, or you know, what happened after Ragnarok. And a number of these lore stones, you know, they'll also unlock a recipe. So this one unlocked the ability for me to make a crafting anvil. And so that's for, you know, there's people that really get into story, really get into the lore, and they want to find every lore stone. Other people maybe not as interested, but they're still useful for people to find those and collect all of those. And where's a lizard when you need one?
Oh.
Lightning.
That was dangerously close.
There's one.
There's a lizard.
Come here, buddy. Step on him, grab him. I just need to cook it over any fire, so I'll cook it over this one.
I like the idea of a game that with random elements like that, lightning strike like that, when you're dealing with gods specifically, because you can feel it's very much like, oh, this is from God, and less of like a random video game thing that's happening.
Right, yeah. And later on in the game, as Loki becomes more aware of you, he's not aware of us yet, but as he becomes more aware of us, he'll reach out past the Vigrid plane and start to do things to us.
Right now, you're just some guy punching a tree and some rocks.
He's like, I'm not worried about you. The analogy I have is like, you're just an ant to him, but then later you're an ant with a bazooka. So he's like, I should probably deal with this ant. Probably do something about this thing. So these are Thrall, one of the factions in the game. There's a number of different human factions you'll encounter. The Thrall are minions of Loki. I think I need a lizard. And they're easily mind controlled by him. They're pretty prevalent throughout the game, but there are other humans such as the Ain, which are former followers of Odin who've renounced all the gods. They're enemies that are cannibals. So, oh shit, I'm on fire. So this weapon the durability is down quite a bit. I'm just gonna throw it in this guy's face. And so I have wood to craft, yeah I do. I like the hunting spears, so I'll craft a few. Just a simple little spear.
Oh, that's cool that you can just do that on the go.
Yeah, a number of weapons you can just craft in the field, or you need an anvil for some of the bigger ones.
Sure.
Chief bound the Draugr with sacred stones. I would see
I'll
this
take your
island
torch
set
too,
free.
eh?
Destroy the 3 binding stones and slay Hiraim as he awakens.
So this is also teaching an aspect throughout the game where there are elite enemies that are trapped inside these binding stones. So you need to free them in order to kill them, take their loot, and we'll get into artifacts in a moment. Man, there's a deer. That's a dangerous place for you to be, little deer.
It almost looked like he wanted to give you a hand.
Light on fire. Ooh.
So in terms of combat, you're getting better and stronger weapons. Are you necessarily like upgrading how you fight, or is it really more about the weapons?
A lot of it's about the weapons. So you're not like unlocking new moves or anything like that. The weapon is the move, and the weapon has different abilities to them. So like a spear is really good at attacking, in front of you. Great swords have a longer reach, but are a little bit slower.
Right.
Double-handed hammers will be more likely to stagger enemies, for example.
Hiraim betrayed hell.
And it looks like it's nighttime. It's starting to get darker. So nighttime's really dangerous in Rune II,
Crowded upon its decks.
where there's a lot more likely the undead will come out in terms of the Draugr and skeletons.
Oh.
So the game is quite challenging, and we've tuned it that way on purpose. Come here, guy. Oh, he fell down, but... All right.
There you go. You just needed a little help.
Kind of fleeing from me, guy.
He really doesn't want to fight.
There we go.
There you go.
Hiraim was a Wotan captain who cursed Aegir whilst pissing from the bow of his longbow.
So initially you're getting help from Heimdall, who has resurrected
Hel
you.
made good use of Hiraim.
And then later on in the game, you'll align to one of the other gods, to Hel, Thor, or Odin, one of the remaining living gods in the game.
Okay.
And by aligning to a god, each god has a different story that you'll learn. I mean, they all want Loki dead.
Right.
Oh man, that guy's like, nope, I'm out. Where are you going, buddy?
He really doesn't want to fight. Oh, now you pissed him off.
Oh, okay, Draugr ambush. Okay, so different factions will fight each other. Like the Draugr have appeared, and they're going to try to take down these guys. Oh, awesome.
They probably can't climb that well, huh?
Nope.
Harime is free. Rid this island.
I'm gonna see if I can get away from them and go down and try to take down the Harime from the Binding Stone.
To keep you safe upon those freezing waters.
Do it on food.
Harime the betrayer. You are my sword. Strike him down.
Hold on, Heimdall. Let me kill some other guys first quick, and then I will strike him down. All right.
Oh.
This is going to be a challenge. Yeah, there's another Jarl here. Double Draugr. Oh. No! I choose life. Oh!
Unfortunately, I don't think they are okay with that.
It shut my arm off, too. So each time you die, you can respawn at any Bifrost gate. These are different gates that you'll explore, and you'll find them throughout the world, so they're respawn shrines, essentially. Anytime you die, you don't lose your equipment, gear, that kind of stuff, but your equipment, it does decay, so...
Okay.
Punch a couple trees, craft some weapons here. I hear the Draugr out there. Yeah, and I mentioned before about aligning to different gods. You'll get different abilities per god as well, so they all have their own storyline, but things like Thor has, you'll get increased hammer attacks and hammer damage.
Oh, sure.
As you level up, and they each have their own special power as well. That would be super useful right now.
Was his health the same too as when you died? He had like missing health?
He did, yeah.
Okay.
All right, no more deaths.
I'm only laughing because I'm not the one playing.
Doesn't notice me yet.
Oh.
There we go. I got a helmet. Awesome.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't remember you wearing that.
Cool. Any sort of armor is welcome.
And now you just have to get in the hit in the head and you'll be fine.
Hopefully it reduces the chance of me getting my head cut off by this guy. Stick this guy full of stuff.
Yeah.
And I run by and get it all back.
That's nice.
Oh,
Plucking your throwable weapon out of somebody is a video game must.
Oh.
I notice we've gotten dead and deceased.
Is that a lizard? Because I feel like I'm going to need all the health I can get. What do I have for food? I've got cooked mushrooms, raw mushrooms.
Uncooked mushrooms.
If I eat an uncooked mushroom, it gives me a little bit of health, but also makes the game a little bit harder to play for.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? I'm going to go up and find some lizards quick. Let me gear up.
Heimdall can bless you with like an iron stomach.
Thank you, lizard.
What are you doing here?
is my house.
Lie down. Stay down.
It's a good looking spear thrust. I feel like a lot of times in games, you don't get that rear back, you know, you just get like kind of a poke forward. It feels like he's really putting his
where
weight
he's like-
into it.
Yeah, that's gonna really mess someone up when it gets them. I only got one lizard out of that. I'll cook a couple quick. All right. So yeah, the hotbar works by, I mean, it's pretty standard hotbar stuff. The inventory, pretty standard inventory as well. The one thing that's different here is there are actually 2 different hotbars. So, and you can easily just swap between them with left
cool.
alt. So we didn't really want people reaching for 6, 7, 8, 9, and 0.
Yeah. Like people usually rebind those anyway, so it's like, why bother?
More lizards. A deer. So the function of this guy is to teach you how to block. So he's pretty good at it.
And it looks like blocking is draining like a stamina meter, is that?
It doesn't replenish your stamina.
Okay.
So, and if your stamina is 0, you can still attack. So we don't stop you from actually still being able to attack. But if your stamina is 0 and you get hit, you'll get knocked down.
Okay. That's cool.
So the story behind Hrim, the Disgraced here, is he was, when he was a human, he was Hel's captain of her ship. Oh man, my weapons. I don't think I could punch him to death at that level. So he was Hel's ship, but then he was cursed and became a Draugr. I'm gonna hide and craft quick. Where'd you go, buddy? My spear.
Nice.
Yes. And a level up, perfect.
Ragnarok is an age of take or be taken. Today you've done more than claim victory. You've claimed wisdom. Orion was once a great seafarer.
All right, let's get off this island and go explore more of Rune II. I'm gonna need some wood to craft a raft, I believe.
Orion left you scraps of his seafaring wisdom.
Yeah, so here's the raft. So I need some tree pitch and some wood pieces. No problem, that'll be easy to get. Leave me alone, guy.
Oh,
Give me my spear
right in the
back.
hand.
Oh, thanks for the axe. Maybe there's something useful in these. Maybe I can throw at them and actually hit it. Bandages, copper ore.
Seems
Useful.
good.
How close am I to building this raft? Some tree pitch, I'm close. Cool, let's build us a raft.
Knew the tragedies of Ragnarok better than most. Place your raft in the water at the end of the wharf. Set sail, and while you're on the water, I will share with you how we too may take the fight to Loki and end his eternal.
So sailing's obviously a big component of the game. And when we launch, we're going to have single player and co-op.
Oh, cool.
So if you want to explore the world yourself, or if you want to get 3 of your friends and jump in, you could easily fit 3 other people on this raft, I'm sure.
Just get close with each other.
Some loot. So what we're doing now is we're going to explore and find artifact fragments. And in each age, there's different artifacts that are based upon mythological relics from Viking times, or from Viking lore. And by going and finding these artifacts, and the location of them is scattered, it's random each age. By finding these artifacts, they each give you certain powers, and then by turning these artifacts in, you get the ability to try to engage with Loki sooner.
Oh, cool.
So there's a timer in the upper left, and when that timer reaches 0, you're automatically pulled into the Vigrid plane and you're forced to confront Loki. If you want to do it sooner, though, like if you and, say, your 3 other friends decide we're powerful enough, we want to try to take Loki down now, you can collect the artifacts, give them to Heimdall, and then go to the Vigrid plane and try to kill Loki. That's actually Heimdall's tower, and his the horn is up at top. So we'll go up there in a moment. Some dragons flying around, I see.
So is it pretty open then in terms of like, obviously you said the locations are randomized within each age, but if I'm just like kicking off and start sailing in a direction, how easy is it for me to like know where my next objective is and that sort of thing?
Sure, yeah. So with each of the artifacts, there are different ways to unlock the location of them. We don't just tell you.
It's not like a waypoint.
Here's the 5. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's not just a waypoint. Here's the 5. Go find them, and then you're going to do it again. There's a certain amount of discovery to it. So as you're exploring around the world, you will find enemies that have knowledge about the artifacts.
Okay.
So by killing them, you'll get the knowledge. And then what you'll unlock hints for. Oh, there's a giant over there. I see there's a bunch of badness that happened here too.
I saw the approaching hordes of Jotunheim. I knew Ragnarok was upon
So if you
us.
explore, find those enemies, kill them, take their knowledge, you can go and find the location of those artifacts.
Spirited it away.
So you're pretty much guaranteed to at least find some kind of lead pretty much
Yes, yeah.
anywhere.
And the artifacts are already in the world, so you don't have to do something to trigger it. It's like if you're exploring around,
Like
you
you
might
just
see
happen
one.
to-
Yeah. And I'll head over to one shortly, and then I can show you. There's a special effect around all of them that you can see from afar.
Gjallarhorn and bring it to my tower. Wretched underling has broken my Gjallarhorn. God's list of crimes just grows and grows.
Fire arrows, burning ore, nice.
Into the base of my tower, and we'll work from there.
One of the things I obtained there is a recipe stone for fire grenades. So when you get a recipe stone, if you consume it, you'll learn the recipe for making that thing. And so like when I get to level 7, I'll be able to construct fire grenades. Building on that too, like my helmet is hurt or is damaged quite a bit. I could salvage it. I still want to keep that helmet, but any item, equipment, or armor that you salvage, you'll actually learn the recipe for that as well.
Oh, neat.
So if you find something, you're like, oh, I want to know how do I build this thing? Because if you build it, you've got a chance of getting, or if you craft it yourself, you've got a chance of unlocking mods for it as well. So you could have a base axe, like I'm going to avoid this giant. You could have a base axe that seems pretty useful, but if you craft one, you might have a mod applied to it, which would be something like increased durability or attack damage, or even like we've got helmets that when you wear it, you can sail faster,
Oh, cool.
that kind of thing.
And these are all things, the recipes, the actual items, these are persistent.
They
like
are
you
persistent, yeah. And so like there's this base here, there's another longhouse that I could construct. If I want to have a longhouse here, so as you explore different islands, you'll want to construct different longhouses, kind of set up your own little base at each of them.
Thanks for finding this piece of my Gjallarhorn. I have a chance here to
raft.
fulfill my destiny through you, warrior. Climb the steps to the summit of my tower, and I'll explain. I can forge a Bifrost bridge to span the void between this tower and the Vigrid plain. Yet nothing prevents me.
So you don't necessarily have to engage every enemy either.
Its dark veils repel all my attempts to breach them. All I need is a little more power. The magic locked within artifacts such as my Gjallarhorn. Were I to harness the power of the horn and aim it at Loki's bulwark, the wall would surely sunder. When it does, you will be able to cross my Bifrost bridge and deal out the justice that Loki so sorely deserves. Find the remaining piece of the Gjallarhorn, and I will forge you that gateway.
This is an example of This particular hint object will give you 1 hint per age, and it will typically give you the actual location of the fragment, or of the artifact. So this gives me the exact location, which I can place my own waypoint on top of it then, so I know exactly where it is over there. But you'll see it's faint here, but there's a purple effect around it.
Oh, I see, yeah.
And that's a zone that Loki has influence of. So when you're in there, Loki has more of an ability to attack you.
Okay. And that's not necessarily, that's like, you mean in terms of like, not more enemies necessarily, but just...
In terms of like, he can call in meteors to throw on your head, that kind of thing. So he can do that at any point, and when he becomes more aware of you, when he sees that ant show up, he will be more likely to throw meteors on your head.
The remaining artifacts, they are no friends to us. Slay them and take their knowledge for our cause. There are others in Midgard who know the nests and natures of the remaining artifacts. They are no friends to us. Slay them and take their knowledge for our cause.
All right, so we can head up towards the artifact. Looks like he's laying down.
Oh, he's getting comfy.
I think I'll avoid him.
Just remember, he's as afraid of you as you are of him.
Or I'll try to take his stuff. Hey, buddy. There's another giant over there. Poison or leather scraps. Kind of useful.
They're not going to use it.
Yeah, giants are super dangerous, especially when you're only like level 5 like I am now.
I thought you were going to say very small.
Oh,
that guy worries me. I honestly might take my chances with a giant over one of those. You know, I feel like I can maybe like outrun a giant or you know, serpentine or something, but a wild boar, I feel like I'd be done for.
There's little babies, and if you mess with the babies, the mother will or the father will immediately attack you. I'm going to leave it alone.
It's good.
I'm not a monster.
God didn't resurrect you to kill babies.
Wasn't there? I think there's a great axe near here or something. That's an.
Oh.
I get a chest. Get some ore and some scraps. All right, and of course night is going to start falling, so things are going to get more dangerous. Let me head up into this burning village.
Be wary. You tread upon tainted soil, where Loki's power is absolute. I'll not be able to aid you. Find Loki's totems, destroy them, and see his domination.
Okay, so there's an enemy there with that glowing purple effect around him. That means that he has the artifact. So he's the guy that I want to kill. Oh yeah, come here, guy. Maybe I can train him out.
Oh, nice. So is he going to be stronger because he has the artifact power?
He's a little stronger because he's one of the leaders here.
Okay.
Although there's a Draugr in there too, so he's an interloper. Yeah, see, the Draugr's going after him.
You're just buying a little space.
I'm going to get on the other side here. You two guys, have at it. Yeah, excellent. Perfect.
And then you waltz in, clean up crew.
Oh, he's still alive. I just chopped his arm off.
He's done though. I think you can let him go.
No way. I'm going to kill him with his own arm. Here we go. All right.
Oh,
yeah.
God. That's got to be one of the worst ways to go. Clubbed to death with your own arm.
I'm going to throw this arm into this guy's head. There we go. I should probably...
You got another arm out of that too.
Oh, yeah. Getting some arms. If you want to, I showed you that you can salvage equipment. Like I could break this axe down.
Yeah.
And then learn the recipe. You can also break down human limbs. And
what do you learn from that?
You get human meat.
Oh,
So if you want to cook that and, eat human meat, who's to stop you? Oh god, another boar. Oh, two. Oh.
Okay.
Oh, actually, I've got a Rune of Force. This is pretty cool. I'll lure him up here. So this rune will knock enemies back that are near you. Really useful if you're surrounded. So we've got a number of different runes in the game that do common things like health or restore your stamina.
Sure.
But also things such as the Rune of Force, Rune of Berserk, which you'll go into kind of a berserk mode for a while and do a lot more damage to enemies, less likely to get killed, that kind of thing, or can't get killed while you're in berserk mode. And time skip, so if it's nighttime and you have a time skip rune, you can fast forward time or at least fast forward the weather and the time of day to the start of the next day. So each artifact that you get, so that effect shows that I'm holding one of the artifacts. Each artifact that you get also has different abilities, or different stat changes. So you could have an artifact that lets you do more damage with spears, for example. Or we have one that you move faster, your health is greatly reduced, but your punch damage is higher. So you're like a super crazy punch dude.
Yeah.
Breach Loki's walls. Excellent find, warrior. I will unlock the shackled power I sense within this artifact. Have your weapons ready and stand fast.
I liked that prompt. Blowhorn to call end of the world.
End the world.
Well, I can't wait to see you fight Loki and beat the game.
Here we go. I'm gonna end it right now. So I've only got a few seconds before we're called into the Vigrid Plain.
Cockroach. Rat. What is it that creeps across my Vigrid Plain? By Ymir's blood, a little warrior. How did you... Ah, of course. Heimdall, playing with his ring.
Oh, hi.
So
see you up
Loki's
there.
pretty huge.
Yeah.
Spear tore through his flesh, but not his resolve.
So each time you come here, you'll fight Loki or fight his minions or fight waves of them. So there's almost a horde mode aspect to it.
Okay.
And Loki himself will come down and fight you periodically as well.
Get out!
Okay, so we're not fighting Loki this time. He's not ready to... I think he's the one that's afraid, not me.
Yeah, oh, totally.
So he wants to throw us back out. So then a new age begins. This is the age of treachery.
Oh.
He has spun Midgard back to the dawn of Ragnarok.
I was gonna say this age sounds bad, but every age that you've listed so far has sounded.
They all have a lot of negatives, and they all have a number of positives as well.
Can't think of many positives from Age of Poison.
Getting poisoned weapons.
Okay,
Weapons
all right.
that inflict poison that you can use on other enemies.
Okay.
The Old Father, the Thunder God, and the Queen of the Lost. Nothing has happened as foretold.
Do you wanna...
He raced from Asgard with Freya's necklace.
All right. I'm gonna scoot on over here and take the reins.
Battled in Ragnarok. Carried Freya's necklace to my goal.
All right, I have become the warrior chosen. And where should I go? Should I consult?
You can use that, and you'll get a hint for where the location of one of the artifacts is.
Okay.
You've got a green waypoint as well. So the quest you have right now is a godly decision where you can choose to align to one of the three remaining gods.
Oh, okay.
Thor, Hel, or Odin. So Why don't we sail over there?
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, you made this
foggy
look
today.
pretty doable, but you know, we'll see. So what's so treacherous about the Age of Treachery?
There's a lot more chaos in the world. More
Okay.
enemies, more traps that enemies have set, more gangs of enemies as well, or clans of enemies. I think you're about to strike something. Yeah, perfect. I would say you could land anywhere along here that looks like a decent place to land.
Well, let's call this decent. Okay.
Yeah, perfect. So you're more likely to run into larger groups of enemies that are fighting each other, attacking each other.
Well, that's good. Third party it up.
Yeah, not everyone just waiting for a hero to come by. There's the enemies are fighting each other, trying to take each other's stuff as well.
Okay. I had a nervous moment of not knowing if that was a statue or an actual giant man with an axe. All right.
So the three different gods are represented by these different statues, and each of them also has a rune with it. So we showed some of the runes earlier. I would recommend picking these 3 runes up, and they're kind of a you get to use these runes so you can see the different powers that the gods are going to give you if you align with them.
Join me, and this power will be yours.
So why don't you pop to the inventory quick with I, and then I would put those runes in your
Wisdom will be
quick-
yours,
yeah.
warrior, if you pledge to me.
Let's just what? Okay.
Looks like the other one is there. So head to the left or turn around. Head down, yeah, that way just to the right now.
Down here?
That way, yeah.
And Thor.
We'll go find some enemies and you can use these powers. So most of them
Yeah.
are close radius attacks, so you need to get kind of close to an enemy to use them.
As much as they give, sometimes more.
Think down there?
Yeah, careful. You don't wanna... Yeah, there's
Here we
something
go.
there we go.
All right. Oh,
Oh, traps.
okay, yeah. This is pretty treacherous.
So Odin's ravens.
Okay. Like what I'm
Odin's
seeing
power.
there. Oh,
Hell's
ow.
ice spikes.
That's pretty good. Nice. Got a mace. All right, bring me more. No more traps, though. Oh, Loki's listening.
Careful, more traps. You can kind of
Oh.
see them sticking up a little
Oh
bit.
yeah, I saw that right too late. Let's see if I can.
Yeah, there's probably something down here. The mouse wheel will shift between different weapons that are in your hotbar if you want to try different weapons.
Cool. This seems.
It seems safe, right?
All right.
You want to get pretty close, yeah.
Oh,
That's
that was
Thor.
good. Yeah. Okay. Those are some good. Honestly, it's a tough choice on all 3 of the. I'm leaning
Might wanna
towards those
heal
ice
yourself.
spikes. So okay, yeah. Okay, Loki's
And then,
rain
of course,
is beginning.
Loki's meteors are coming in now.
Oh, that's not an actual pause.
There's a wolf in there, too.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
There's a lot in there.
treachery and chaos, right?
All right, let's take a really quick peek over here and just see if we can spot something else. So, like you said, this is coming out summer
Summer this year.
this year on Epic
Epic Game Store, yes.
Epic Game Store.
Yep, next year on other PC stores.
Okay. And you said co-op coming.
Yeah, when we launch, we're going to have single player, 4-player co-op, and deathmatch, actually.
Oh,
Deathmatch
cool.
and team deathmatch.
Is there any sort of of this progression element that carries over to the death match, or?
They are separate.
Okay.
That guy's got a poison axe, it looks like.
Yeah, this guy's got arrows, that guy's got an axe.
Arrow to the face.
It's about as good as I was expecting myself to do jumping in, not gonna lie. Well,
Yeah, deathmatch was such a big component of the original Rune, and there's still a number of people that play today.
really?
And so we had to include deathmatch. We had to include deathmatch and team deathmatch, and it's super fun.
That sounds fun. Well, I'm looking forward to, I'm just gonna really get in here. Oh my god, I'm almost already dead. Oh. Just falling down with that arrow sticking out of my face and another arrow sticking out of the arrow that was sticking out of my face is maybe one of the most humiliating ways to go. But thank you so much, Chris, for coming by and showing off Rune II. We're looking forward to the full release coming soon.
Thank you, and glad to be here, and glad we're able to show off a number of elements in it.
Yeah, thanks.